if the ANC gets into coalition with the EFF, and for some reason they find a way of working well together, the DA might as well close shop, because the South Africans will continue voting for their coalition time and time again. The DA might as well forget about governing the country ever again.
The 360 experience with Thomas M.
You know, guys, I hate the fact that the ANC is the political party that is going to make the decision about the future of this country. I hate the fact that the ANC is the political party that is going to make the decision about the future of South Africa. The ANC right now, they are going around and saying that they're going to win in an outright majority. But I think that the South Africans, they know better. South Africans can look at the numbers and the fact that the African National Congress has been on a steady decline. The conclusions that many South Africans have actually drawn is that we are going to go into coalitions government. I hate the fact that the ANC is spoiled with the choice to either destroy this country or to either make this country prosper. I'm saying this because, you know, guys, for the longest time, Helen Zille said that in 2024, the fight is between the EFF and the DA. You know, for the longest time, I didn't understand it, man. Like, what the hell is this woman talking about? The choice is between the EFF and the DA. And that choice is going to determine the future of this country. The party that is going to perform well between the EFF and the DA, it is the party that potentially might determine the future of this country. The African National Congress is not going to get a majority of the votes. They are not going to get a majority of the votes. This is what the numbers are indicating to all of us. So the ANC will have to make a choice to either working with the EFF or to either working with the DA. I guess this is the reason why Helen Zille basically said that the choice is between the EFF and the DA. The real fight is between the EFF and the DA. I mean, recently the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, came out and said that I am willing to give the EFF vote to the ANC, but with one condition. If Floyd Shivambu is made the finance minister. Yeah, Julius Malema is talking about the same Floyd Shivambu that has been accused time and time again over VBS. The same Floyd Shivambu who failed to declare the money that he got from Skameka project, the same Skameka project that was linked with VBS. You remember the Parliament Ethics Committee actually found Floyd Shivambu guilty of not declaring the money that he got from Skameka. The EFF wants that guy to be the finance minister, and this is their only condition. The Julius Malema says that, man, I don't even care about being the deputy president of the country. So it tells you everything that you need to know about the EFF. The EFF is not interested in governing the country. They are not interested in making things better for the people in this country. The EFF is only worried about money and the purse of the country. Right now, a lot of supporters of the EFF, they are going all over the place. They are crying, like they are outraged at their leader saying that I am willing to donate the EFF vote to the ANC with one condition. Floyd Shivambu needs to be made the finance minister. I can tell the EFF supporters right now that, guys, you need to relax. Julius Malema has basically told the ANC that the EFF does not want to work with the ANC. If the EFF wanted to work with the ANC, there is no way they were going to propose something like this. I mean, like, everyone in this country understands that there is no way the African National Congress is going to allow any political party to come near the pairs of the country. They're gonna give you all the positions, but they will never allow you to come anywhere near the pairs of the country. So the EFF has basically told the African National Congress that, man, we don't want to work with you. The EFF supporters need to relax. I know they are going around and they are crazy. They are crying all over the place that, man, we want to vote out the ANC. The EFF needs to go for a 2/3 majority. It's insane. There is no way the EFF is going to get a 2/3 majority. There is no way the DA is going to get a 2/3 majority. So all of this talk about dethroning the African National Congress and us getting a 2/3 majority, it is nothing but a pipe dream. There is no way the EFF can go from 10% to 60%. There is no way. But Julius Malema has told the ANC to look at other alternatives. So this begs the question, what is the DA going to do? You know, the DA supporters, they hate ANC so much. They want nothing to do with the ANC. So my question to them is that, would you rather have the ANC working with the EFF, the same EFF that is telling you their intentions? Would you rather have the party like the ANC and the EFF working together? Would you rather have that coalition, the coalition that you know very well that is going to destroy the country? Everyone who knows Julius Malema knows that there is no way Julius Malema is going to hold Ramaphosa accountable. No way Julius Malema is going to hold Ramaphosa accountable. Ramaphosa has destroyed this country in a ways that we cannot even imagine. But the fact that the EFF is not protesting every day, the fact that the EFF is not making it hard for Ramaphosa to govern, it shows you that the leadership of the EFF, they have a soft spot for Ramaphosa. Julius Malema himself has told the South Africans time and time again that I have a soft spot for Ramaphosa. Would you rather have that coalition of the EFF and the ANC? If you don't want to have the coalition of the ANC and the EFF, then you need to open up your mind for the possibility of the coalition of the DA and the ANC. This is what the DA needs to work towards. This is what the DA needs to work towards. I know they have a multi-pact party, they have the multi-party, they have the moon pact. But right now we are talking about the survival of the country. We are talking about the survival of the country. We have two political parties. One party, if it gets in, this country is going to be destroyed. But one party, if it gets in, there's a chance that they can actually hold the ANC accountable and stop the decline. The EFF has told the ANC that we don't want to work with you. We want peace. The ANC will never work with a political party that wants to run the peace of this country. So the DA needs to put up and position themselves to governing the country with the DA, with the ANC. As much as the supporters of the DA hate the fact of the ANC working with the DA, this is the only way basically we can stop the decline. Because if the ANC turns their back on the EFF, if the ANC turns their back on the EFF and the DA at the same time and decide to work with the IFP, you will not like the result. You will not like the result. So right now it is time for the DA to actually step up. It is time for the DA to actually step up and be strategic on how you're going to actually propose you working with the ANC. You know, the ANC's Veterans League, they said that we would rather work with the DA instead of working with the EFF. Man, as much as I hate the leadership of the ANC's Veterans League, but at least it shows you there's a bit of integrity there. Those people, they tell you that, man, as much as, man, we hate the DA, but we prefer having the DA on our side instead of having the EFF. Because even those people understand that the coalition of the ANC and the DA, the coalition of the ANC and the EFF is going to destroy the country. So the only political party that can actually stop the ANC from destroying the country, it is the DA. Patriotic Alliance, Gayton McKenzie already told you that he wants nothing but power. So if Gayton McKenzie is made the premier of Northern Cape, he's simply going to come in and donate the Patriotic Alliance votes to the African National Congress. Gayton McKenzie has already told you what he stands for. He wants power. He doesn't care about governing the country. He doesn't care about governing the country. He simply wants power. So if they give him a power to be the premier or to be the one of these stupid positions in government, he's simply going to accept. He's simply going to accept. So the question comes, what is the DA actually going to do? Are you going to play politics, or are you simply going to position yourself to govern the country with the ANC? Are you going to help save South Africa? You know the DA, they have the posters all over South Africa that say, save South Africa, Polosa South Africa. This is the slogan of the DA going into 2024. Are you going to do exactly that, or are you going to play politics? I know that many people are not going to be happy with me suggesting that the DA needs to get into coalition with the ANC. But guys, you need to understand one thing. The coalition or the party that the ANC is going to choose in terms of going to coalition with, that might be the coalition for life. That might be coalition for life. Thomas, what the hell are you saying? If the ANC gets into coalition with the EFF, and for some reason they find a way of working together, for some reason South Africans start seeing the results, guess what? South Africans are going to vote for that coalition time and time again. If the ANC gets into coalition with the EFF, and for some reason they find a way of working well together, the DA might as well close shop, because the South Africans will continue voting for that coalition time and time again. The DA might as well forget about governing the country ever again. The same thing can be said about the ANC and the DA. If the ANC gets into coalition with the DA and they find a way of working well together, they find a way of delivering results to South Africans, the EFF might as well close shop. So which political party do you actually want to close shop? Which political party do you want to close shop? Because I can tell you right now that the EFF and the DA, they do not even want to think about the possibility of the ANC working with IFP. Because the same thing can be said about the both political parties. If the ANC gets into coalition with IFP and they find a way of working together, the DA and the ANC and the EFF, they might as well close shop. There is no way South Africans are ever gonna vote for them ever again. I think this whole talk that the African National Congress is going out, they're going to lose the elections, our party is going to get a 2/3 majority. The EFF, like you know, for the past 4 years, they've been talking about the 2/3 majority, but the leader of the party right now actually realizes that, man, I'm going to get something like 8%. I might as well position myself to working with these people and governing South Africa. So what is the DA going to do? Do you want the ANC to work with the EFF? Do you want the ANC to work with IFP? Because I can tell you now, if the ANC makes the decision to work with either the EFF or IFP, the DA might as well close shop. They will never govern the country again. Majority of black people in this country, they will continue voting for that coalition over and over again. That's why I'm telling the DA supporters that as much as you hate the idea of the ANC going to coalition with the DA, you need to be open-minded about it and say that, man, as much as I hate that political party that is filled with corrupt cadres, fact is South Africans still love the African National Congress. Fact is the African National Congress might not get the majority in 2024 elections. So you need to be open-minded in terms of the DA working with African National Congress so that you can stop the EFF from ever governing the country again. If you're going to play politics, the African National Congress will look into the way of the EFF and they will find a way of working together. They will find a way of using racial and identity politics, and the DA might as well forget and close shop. It's very simple, man. It's very simple, man. Helen Zille has been indicating this for months like that. It's very simple. I guess Helen Zille didn't want to say it in plain sight that the political party that is going to go into coalition with the ANC, that might be a coalition for life. I guess she didn't want to put it like that because people would come out and say that, yeah, Helen Zille, you are saying all of these things because you wanted the ANC to go into coalition with the DA. I guess this is the reason why she cleverly put it in a way that the fight in 2024 election is between the DA and the EFF. The party that will go into coalition with the ANC is going to win and determine the future of this country. If you are a DA supporter and you don't want the DA to ever work with African National Congress, then be ready with the EFF determining the future of this country. Be ready with the EFF determining the future of the country. If you are an EFF supporter, you hate the idea of the EFF working with the ANC, be ready to have the DA determining the future of the country. So I'm asking this question to voters. Which coalition would you actually prefer? Which political party would you actually prefer? Which political party would you prefer? Would you prefer the EFF determining the future of the country? Or would you prefer the DA determining the future of the country? Which coalition would you rather prefer?
The ANC can't differentiate, and a lot of people can't differentiate between power and the glory. I'm prepared to give the EFF vote to the ANC.
And can you, like, Julius Malema, man, Julius Malema is, like, EFF is just a one-man show. Julius Malema is not even hiding it anymore. He says, I am prepared. Julius Malema is not saying the EFF is prepared. Julius Malema is not saying the EFF leadership is prepared, like the team, the political party. No. I am prepared. I am prepared to giving the EFF vote to the ANC. That just shows you, man, that is a one-man show.
Nationally, if he doesn't get 50%,
and you don't need the glory of being a deputy president.
No, I don't need that.
Yeah.
Then I'll make one demand: make Floyd Shivambu Minister of Finance.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think they're going to refuse that.
Once we take that finance, because that's where the problem is, and the President Ramaphosa knows that.
Yeah.
So, do you want the EFF to determine? Do you want the EFF to be the ones that are responsible for the finances? I know John Steenhuisen doesn't like the idea because he's very angry. He's very angry right now. John Steenhuisen, the leader of the DA, he's very angry with the thought of Julius Malema controlling the finances of South Africa. I mean, he hates the idea of Julius Malema controlling the finances of South Africa. But I'm saying to John Steenhuisen that, man, yes, I know that you are angry. I know that you are angry. But what are you going to propose to the ANC so that you can stop this possible coalition of the ANC and the EFF? What are you going to do to stop this possible coalition of the ANC and the EFF? Because you know, the EFF has already told you, the EFF told you that if the ANC wants our vote, we want Floyd Shivambu to be the finance minister. So I know John Steenhuisen, he's angry, man. The man is, he's seething with the thought of Floyd Shivambu being the finance minister. So the question comes again, what is the DA going to do? What is the DA going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to listen to people who say that we want nothing to do with African National Congress? We will we don't want you to work with African National Congress. Because if you're going to say, okay, the voters, as much as the voters are the ones that are determining the party, fine. But if you say the voters don't want us to work with African National Congress, so we are not going to work with African National Congress, then prepare yourself to have Floyd Shivambu as the finance minister. Prepare yourself to have Floyd Shivambu, the man who has been linked with VBS, to be the finance minister.
Julius Malema confirmed that the EFF will give their vote to the ANC if they don't have a majority, subject to a number of conditions. And the first one of those conditions, you know what it was? The first condition was to make Floyd Shivambu the finance minister. My machtig mense, the man who looted VBS Bank as the finance minister. It'll make Des van Rooyen look like child's play. The Doomsday Coalition that I warned you all about, for those of you at Congress in April last year, is now underway and taking shape before our eyes. And under the Doomsday Coalition, with Floyd Shivambu as the finance minister, the EFF will unleash its destructive policies and take our country down the exact road to Venezuela, to Zimbabwe, and every other failed country in this world. And do we want that here in the Western Cape? Do we want it in South Africa? I say no. No.
So, if you say no, then position yourself. If you say no, then position yourself. Because if you're simply gonna protest instead of doing anything about it, then you might as well prepare yourself for it. If you're simply gonna protest and say that we don't want this doomsday coalition to happen, then you might as well prepare yourself to have this doomsday coalition. That's why when I started the video, I said that the DA supporters who hate the ANC, who wants nothing to do with the ANC, you need to understand. You need to understand that if the DA listens to you and refuses to work with African National Congress, then be prepared to see the coalition of the ANC and the EFF. Do not complain when you have a Floyd Shivambu as the finance minister. Do not ever complain, because you said you want the DA to never work with African National Congress. If you don't want the DA to work with the ANC, then be prepared for anything that's about to come. Be prepared for everything that's about to come. I've already said it before, that me, personally, the idea of working with the ANC, trash. But if the DA is the only political party right now, I can say they can actually stop the decline. And the only way the DA can stop the decline is if the DA works with African National Congress. You don't have to like the idea. You simply have to be open-minded about it. That doomsday coalition, if you don't want to see it happen, if you don't want to see it happen, then you might as well give John Steenhuisen a fucking mandate and say, John Steenhuisen, we want you to go there and propose something to the African National Congress so that the ANC can work with you instead of the ANC working with the EFF. Because at this point, you cannot have your cake and eat it. You can't say you don't want the DA to work with the ANC at the same time saying that you don't want the coalition of the ANC and EFF. You cannot have it both. You cannot have it both. You can't say that I don't want the DA to work with the ANC and at the same time saying that I don't want to see the coalition of the ANC and the EFF. You cannot have it both. You need to pick one. It's either you want to see the coalition of the ANC and the EFF that is going to destroy the country, or you're going to be open-minded to see the coalition of the ANC and the DA. If you don't want both coalitions to happen, then be prepared for anything that's about to come. Do not ever complain after 2024 elections. When you see South Africa going down, do not ever complain. Just say that, man, I'm going to stand to what I said. I don't want the DA to work with the ANC, and I don't want to see the ANC working with the EFF. But I'm telling you right now, I'm being honest with you, that you cannot have it both. 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 You cannot say you don't want the coalition of the ANC and the DA, and at the same time saying that you don't want to see the coalition of the ANC and the EFF, because one between the two is going to happen. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabao, so I will see you next time. Bye bye.